What's up, Antoine? What's up? What are you doing?
Putting back together the car. Trying to keep my job.
What's up, Johnny?
Yeah.
What up, everybody? What up, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. Day number 3 or 4 working on the BMW. What I'm really trying to show you guys is how long this process actually takes, because in the past you've seen us wrap up projects pretty damn quick. One video shows everything. This time around I'm really trying to give you in-depth details of exactly what's going on, what it took to wrap the BMW, how many people it took. Thus far it's just myself, Anthony, and Johnny on it, and we've been killing it. So here's what the fender is looking like right now. Fender's already wrapped, hood's already wrapped. But I'll give you guys some good, nice, clean edges so you guys can see what's going on here. Woo! That looks great. Door handles done, wrapped. Looks perfect. We still have the quarter panel to wrap here. We have the bumpers over there to wrap. Johnny's working on the side skirts down there, so knocking out the side skirt over there. Trunk's going back together. You guys seen in the last vlog how we did the trunk. I spent most of my day doing that and showing you guys exactly what was done. So if you haven't watched that vlog, go back a couple vlogs and see what's going on. I really want you guys to understand what's going into this BMW. If you like this kind of formula of video, let me know. Comment below. Let us know how you want to see these videos. I told you guys 1 or 2 videos ago, these videos are for you guys, so we want to produce content that you guys like. Talk to us in the comments below. We're going to answer you guys. We'll try to give you back the videos that you're asking for. Like I mentioned, Johnny's wrapping the side skirt. He's already got it done, and the other one's also already done, so we're not gonna be able to show you the content on this. But these things are super easy, so they're a flat side skirt. The one thing that we paid extra attention to is to make sure that the entire side skirt's wrapped, even the parts that aren't gonna be seen. So if you look here, this is the inside where the doors actually go, but we're gonna wrap all the way in, all the way around, and then down here at the bottom, you got a nice clean line, so it's right down there at the bottom. You're still gonna see some of the gray, but this is all clipped into place, so it's just done clean. Another thing that we saved for you guys is the door handles. Or door handle. One door handle. I wanted to make sure that we got that on video, so Johnny's gonna be wrapping these for you today, show you how he does it. And then I'll be on these. So I wanna show you guys all of the inlays that it takes to do these bumpers, because these bumpers, out of every bumper I've ever done, have and require the most inlays and overlays out of any bumper I've ever done. So just to give you an example, I'm gonna have to do a piece right here. We'll take that all the way down. This gets done in its own piece. So there's gonna be a seam right here. So doing these things properly is definitely key, because you don't want the seams to be seen, so you have to do it right. You have to layer them properly. And I'll show you guys exactly what I'm doing. I hope I can show you both bumpers, but these are gonna take just a few hours, probably 3 or 4 hours each, just getting the inlays ready before we can actually wrap the bumpers. So they're gonna take time. I'll do my best to show you guys. Some things to note before we get started on wrapping this bumper is there's a lot of pre-existing damage. So I'll show you guys here. There's definitely some chip marks here. It looks like they may have hit something, some damage there. This is a little bit warped out of shape here. And then the most major damage is right there. So those things are already on the bumper. We're gonna do our best to work around them. We're not a body shop, so we're not gonna go in and do extensive body work on it, but we will be doing some sanding on it, approved by the customer to do so. So nothing crazy, but we are gonna do some light sanding to get this thing to work. You can't just go directly over these things and expect the material to stick. This is actually really bad. This might be a little bit of a challenge.
Hey Daniel, here you go.
Ooh, buddy. Is it filming?
Yes, it is.
Oh no. Well, back over here, I've been just doing my thing, twiddling my fingers. I'm doing these inlays, dude. It sucks. They're bothering me. Super frustrating. So turn off the camera. I'll catch them up.
Okay.
I'll catch you guys up to speed soon. All right. So before I get started on the time lapse of me doing all the inlays on this side, I'll show you exactly what's going to be done, because I already did this side. So I got an inlay up there going around. All of these bends, all of these turns are like 90-degree bends, so you want to make sure that you're doing the inlays properly, because you overstretch them, they're gonna pull apart, they're gonna look bad. If you see here, you don't see any seams or anything, just looks good. This is the damage that I showed you guys earlier. Some of the damage is still showing through. We also got an inlay all the way around right there. There's gonna be a small seam in this area, which it's gonna show a little bit, but it's not gonna be that big of a deal, especially because it goes with the body line. All right, so I spent about the last 2 hours laying these inlays, maybe not that long, but about 2 hours. I'll show you guys what it looks like. The whole bottom piece all the way through is done, and I think it's 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, so 3, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So 4 pieces right here, and then this right here, so it's 5. And then obviously the same over here. Now basically all we're gonna do is wrap the front face, we'll cap it, and we'll match our front piece of material, like where the seam's gonna face backwards. I talked about that in the last vlog. So you're not gonna see it because it's gonna flap around. The only visible seam out of everything is probably gonna be this one, but I'm gonna do my best to hide it. I'll show you guys what I do with it exactly. So we just laid the main piece on the bumper, and I wanted to address something real quick because I think a lot of people ask about it. I'm gonna put Johnny on the spot with this also because I want to get his take on it. When you see people wrap bumpers on Instagram, on YouTube, and different places where you're watching people wrap, you see a lot of times they'll actually wrap the bumper on the car. And I think you were wrapping bumpers on the car for a long time, right?
Yeah, it's definitely.
So when you were doing it, you take apart all the stuff, put the bumper back on, and wrap it on the car.
Yeah.
Pretty normal, right?
It's pretty normal, yeah.
But us over here, if you guys see, we constantly wrap the bumpers off the car. I bought these step ladders to paint the walls like years ago. Now all of a sudden we use them for bumpers all the time. The reason for it, in my opinion, is I feel like we have better access to everything all the way around. You know, it's definitely a different approach, but working from the top, I feel like the details are always a little bit easier to get, right? What's your take now? Like, because before you came in, you were like, what the f these guys doing?
It's definitely something you have to learn. It has like its learning curve to it, but you get to get around, you get to get under, so you need to, pick up the material. It's definitely helpful all around. If you have a piece of dust, you have that more easier access to it, not just lifting up the whole entire panel, stuff like that. It's just.
So your consensus is you like doing it like this?
Yeah, I mean, I've learned to like it, so it's like doing it the other way. It's definitely useful, and it's cool if you're doing it on your own, but if you have the, this ability to do it like this, you're gonna get more detailed work.
That's also called job security. Right?
No, I just feel like this helps with the details a lot. It gives us more access to everything on the whole bumper, so that's why we do it this way. There's no right or wrong way. I'm not saying that people do it on the cars is the wrong way, because a lot of times they're wrapping solo. Alright, so if you've seen the footage, what we were doing when we were glassing the material, Johnny was heating it up and I appeared to be pulling it, but I really wasn't. All I was doing is kind of just holding it flat. There was really no pull to it. I let the heat do its thing and it kind of mold right to the piece. So if you look all right here, it looks like this is actually laid, but it's not. It was just heated and conformed to it, but there's still a lot of air all throughout the entire panel, so we're gonna go push it all out. But what I really wanna emphasize is when Johnny and I were laying this and glassing the material, there was no tension. I wasn't using any muscle at all. All I was doing is holding the material in place and letting it kind of just fall down with the heat and just conformed right to it. So there's been zero effort thus far. It's just been really easy, so let's keep doing it. Okay, so you guys seen us lay all of the inlays. Here's the fun part actually, piecing them all together. So we put the big main piece, the whole panel, which we wrapped up over the inlays. Now we're gonna make some incisions and set everything into place and just hope that no gray shows. As long as it's done right, we'll be fine. So let me show you guys exactly what this looks like. So I'm gonna start with this outer bezel. What I'm gonna do is, this is actually up in the air. There's a big pocket of air right here. So I'm gonna make an incision, but I'm not cutting on the car. I'm actually using this open space to cut on. So you guys will see here, just a tad bit over. Like I said, it's using the open space up. And I'm giving a little bit of, that's my overage right there. I'm gonna fold that in onto our inlay that we originally laid. So now that's cut, you see that this kind of fell into place. I see gray right here, but let me show you what I'm gonna do. So first, let me lay this, give it a little heat, and the seam has disappeared. So if you see here, you don't see that seam at all. Let's get to the tricky part. So what I'm gonna do is, I know that this is all inlaid here, so I don't need any material here. I'm gonna make a cut right here. Give me some extra material so I can shift this into place. So I got my flapper there. Let me give it a little bit more cut here. So I'm gonna lift this piece up, and it's just a slight shift up. So we got that into place for the most part. If you guys remember, it was an inlay done here on this flat side. So again, I'm gonna make an overcut. Overheat. Set that in place. And as I lay it, you should see that the seam disappears, and that's because I'm facing the seam backwards. The edge of the seam is now essentially back over here, which you're not gonna see that. So the bumper's done now. I'll show you guys what it looks like. We're still putting on some of the trims and pieces, some of the lights that need to go in there, but it's done. So we spent a good, I spent about 2 hours doing all of the inlays, and then Johnny and I spent an additional hour and a half maybe, just getting everything dialed and cleaned up with the big major panel that you guys seen. So let me show you what it looks like right now. Anthony's taking it off the rack, getting ready to mount it on the car. So by the end of the vlog, this bumper should be on the car. You just should start to see it come together. Sweet! Anthony's like in the work mode, just trying to get his part done. So as soon as we start finished wrapping, he'll grab it, he'll start putting it back together. Obviously there's some wiring that needs to go back on, a couple different miscellaneous trims before it actually goes back on the car. So that's what he's working on now, and we'll have it on in a minute. All right guys, we got the bumper done. It's getting ready to go back on the car. And really now at this point, once it's mounted, I can get up close and really show you what all of the inlays look like. When you get it on the car and you see it in its entirety, none of the seams will be visible. That's what I really wanted to preach to you guys, is that some of the stuff we did here, it's 100% necessary. All those bends are 90 degrees, so you don't want to try to lay in material and feed it in and stretch it, overstretch it, discolor it. That's why all those inlays are so necessary. But yeah, like I said, there's one seam that's probably visible, and it's right there. So it's super hard to see, especially when you're standing from here. But let's get this thing on.